Welcome back to Quick Take Charge. I'm Tim Stenovec in New York. A revival in tech shares alongside budding optimism about the global recovery pushing the S&P 500 past 4,000 for the first time. The S&P 500 rally as much as 0.7% to a record today. Shares of real estate brokerage Compass, though, expected to start trading as well. The company pricing its IPO at the bottom of a reduced range, raising just $450 million. That's less than half of the company's earlier target. This comes after the UK's Wednesday stock market debut of Amazon-backed Deliveroo was a total flop. So what's going on here? We have the indices reaching record highs, but IPOs not so hot. And what should we keep an eye on in the coming months? Anthony Denier is CEO of the investing app Webull and joins me now. Anthony, thanks so much for being back with us. What do you make of the conflicting data that we're seeing right now? Record highs on the indices, but seems to be a little less interest in IPOs of late.
Yeah, well, there's been a huge rotation all through March in terms of assets and where customers are putting their money. In terms of the retail investor that we're seeing on Webull, we've actually seen quite a bit of pullback in trade volumes from the retail investor because of that. Yeah, because of that volatility. For the first time in a long time, we're seeing higher allocations of index ETFs on Webull, where traditionally it's much more of a single stock sort of driven platform, which tells me that customers are just a bit more cautious right now.
When did the shift start? When did you start to see this? Because let's think about the narrative that emerged in 2020, about a year ago. People sitting at home, starting to get those stimulus checks and buying shares of U.S. companies.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, through 2020, Webull saw tremendous growth. And maybe to put it in perspective, through 2020, we saw about a 20% month-on-month average growth through the whole year. And then Q1 of 2021, we equaled the same amount of growth in that one quarter that we had all through 2020.
Wow.
Right? So it was almost kind of like, let's take a breather, right? It's kind of what we're feeling. In January, February, and probably the first half of March were just so aggressive in terms of customers coming into investing, getting involved investing, and actively trading, that it almost seems like a natural breather that we're seeing on the retail side.
So given what you saw in the last couple of weeks versus what you saw over the last few months, what does April, May, and June look like to you?
I think the Q1 earnings are going to be a big deal this year, more so than they have been, right? Because now we'll start to see the beginnings of this reopening economy and start to see which leaders are going to emerge from the general indexes that have been moving in lockstep for so long. When you talk about your travel and leisure names reopening stocks, right? Which ones are the ones that are actually going to take the lead is going to be a big theme going into what we're going to look at in Q2.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about these recent IPO flops. For so much of the last few years, we've heard about IPOs just popping so much on that first day. And a big part of that was potentially mispricing because the bankers didn't realize what demand would be and how much money that these companies could actually raise in an IPO. But what do you think of what happened yesterday with Deliveroo and what's happening with Compass? Is that does that tell you that there's a trend?
I have to be careful not to talk about specific names, specifically because Webull does not make any recommendations. But I can say, it's nice to see that so many of our peers are getting involved in offering IPOs to retail customers who traditionally have been completely shut out from the IPO process. Webull's actually been offering IPOs to our customers for over 2.5 years now. And some of our peers this past week have gotten a lot of press making announcements that they're going to open it up. And this is the progression towards that lowering barriers and democratizing the process of IPOs. Like you mentioned, price discovery is always an inside room deal. I like seeing more of these direct listings hitting rather than the kind of underwritten deals that we've always seen traditionally in the past, where the allocations of these names are going to the best customers of the Goldman Sachs of the world and the Morgan Stanleys of the world, i.e. the hedge funds or the super high net worth. Now, getting true retail customers involved in this process will take time because the understanding of the IPO process, I think, gets a lot of negative press because of these mispriced deals and these pops on the first day, and then a week later it's trading down 15%. No one likes seeing those sort of headlines. Retail investors are always latest to get in, especially when it comes to an IPO. They're the ones buying it after the open when it's already up 25%. So seeing some of our peers get involved in offering these pre-IPO deals to retail customers is very, very positive.
Anthony, I want to just end talking about the future of Webull and how you're thinking about your own company's future. IPO on the horizon, certainly the case for competitor Robinhood.
Yeah, hats off to Robinhood. That's an amazing feat. What they've built over the course of a short amount of time of 5 years is amazing, nothing short of. And our plans are to continue growing with the same amount of velocity that we have been growing. We look to add new products to our customers, and we look to expand both geographically and into different product ranges. I think it's a little early to talk about IPO right now for us, but I think you will start seeing some new funding rounds coming across for Webull across the tape very soon.
All right, we'll keep an eye on those. As far as geographies go, where are you thinking?
Well, we already have a broker-dealer open and operating in Hong Kong, which will start servicing mainland Chinese customers and Hong Kong customers. We're looking to expand in Western Europe and the UK as well.
Anthony Denier, CEO of Webull. Anthony, always great to chat with you. Thanks so much for taking the time. Appreciate it.